I was a sophomore, walking the halls here. I didn't know who CIS was. I didn't know what communities and schools were to the school, so I walked in, and it was a little bit of a leap of faith. I walked in and knocked on the door, and that's when I met Miss Reyes, who is the reason for me, in many ways, getting to see a future that I hadn't ever even thought of for myself. And she was just the answer to a lot of questions, some that I knew to ask, some that I didn't even know. Not to maybe graduate high school, but really think about school beyond. And coming from a family where, my parents didn't make it past the 8th grade, that was a big deal. So Miss Reyes was CIS. It wasn't a program, it wasn't a nonprofit, it was just Miss Reyes who gave herself to this work, and myself and other students who we built a relationship with throughout my 3 years of high school here. Communities in Schools is a national nonprofit. We've been doing this work now for 45 years, and we are in 26 states all across the country. That translates into 3,000 schools, serving 1.6 million students.
Got it right. All right. Good job.
We have a vision, which is that we want to surround students with a community support, ensuring that they have the ability to not just achieve in school, but achieve in life. And to do that, we partner with teachers and principals who oftentimes are overburdened with so much. And so the centerpiece of our work really is that trained, caring adult that we call a psych coordinator. That is the person who not only understands how to connect resources from outside in the school, but connect the most vulnerable students or the students who may be most at risk to the resources and the support that they need to be successful.
So why did I join CIS? I joined because I wanted to be able to make a difference. I just wanted to be able to come in and just let these students know that, there's someone here that cares about them. Just knowing that there's someone there that they're gonna be able to rely on, that's gonna be there to support them whenever they're having a tough time.
I've been a site coordinator at both an elementary and a high school now, and seeing the smile that some of the kids have when they approach my office, or feeling comfortable with me to talk about things that they don't necessarily want other adults or even their friends to know about. Building relationships is, I would say, the most important part of being a site coordinator for me.
The attributes needed to be a great site coordinator, the attributes needed to be a great Swiss Army knife. You have to have a little bit of every kind of tool.
Every day it's different. Whether you have a student coming in that's in a crisis situation and needs immediate attention, right? But really the biggest day-to-day part of my job is meeting with students. So that's checking in with them. I pull them from class, kind of see how their day's going, see if how they're doing in their classes. If they need food for their families, I have a food pantry on campus, as well as kind of a clothes closet, so if they need a jacket because it's cold outside, or a pair of shoes or something like that.
Before a student can get turned on to learning, they need to be turned on to living, and living is sometimes the hardest part when you consider the circumstances that poverty puts some of our families and our students in. And so that is really the most difficult issue.
A lot of these kids are coming from hard places. They have a lot going on in their lives, and they need someone who is not going to judge them or talk down to them.
Building out a school that is only focused on academics and not focused on the whole student, then you have a student who will lash out, who will misbehave, who will, hurt themselves or hurt others. And that is a loss of hope. How do we bring that back to a student? How do we bring it back to their families? And how do we create the resources and the support around them to bring that back?
I would fall behind, whether it be behavior-wise or academically. And I was fortunate enough to have Ms. Y point me in the direction of Mr. Thomas. I was able to receive a mentor.
As an organization, we need to recognize that when we think about inclusion and equity and the way that we are serving our students, it has to be front and center with the way that we actually want our students to show up. And so when we hire staff, we're hiring staff from those communities. We're hiring staff who've become alumni, who are alumni and becoming staff at communities and schools themselves, myself included.
The consistency that came with Mr. Thomas, he was there to listen. And that was always something that was important for all of us. Just the question if you're okay. And that's what Mr. Thomas did for us. And, it's something that I can never forget.
Made my mindset change. In my mind, I knew that I didn't have no future or nothing. I always been like a problem kid, like you just said.
It's not programs that are changing young people's lives, it's relationships.
I'm an advocate as the campus leader and as the principal of the school for the many benefits that CIS has to offer. And so to have a site coordinator
that's well-knowledged and easily communicates with students and shares the message of what CIS can do for them, it's very empowering to help our community and our kids.
Some of you are taking care of family. Some of you are taking care of siblings and brothers and sisters. Some of you are taking care of grandparents.
That was my biggest fear, was allowing others to see how vulnerable I really was and just how scared I really was. And as time has gone on, I've seen vulnerability more as a strength than a weakness. You know, CIS allowed me to do that.
Gabriel's transformation from freshman year till his senior year has been phenomenal. And CIS allowed him to transform into the leader he is now.
I think probably the biggest thing that if I had one message for all of my students is just to know that they are powerful, that they are better than their situation or their environment.
The important thing about potential is you don't really know you have it until somebody else tells you you do.
I'm excited. I can't wait, and I anticipate every morning going to college and kind of building a career and being able to give back to my community.
This is the kind of role that we get to play at communities and schools, and we have 3,000 staff all across the country who are in this fight.
I think CIS brings a sense of hope to our campus. Being a teacher is probably one of the most difficult tasks. CIS makes it easy to meet kids where they are, when they are, in every single moment.